Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Abhinav Jawhari from QA Guides. If you have any issues related to software testing, you can call me on plus 919252204535. See, we have covered most of our modules have been covered. I have covered 30 modules in my training. All the frameworks have been covered. Okay, if you go now today, I am thinking that I will be starting with interview questions. Fine. Today we will start with the interview questions, which are if you have practiced all these modules and go through the interview questions, no one can stop you in making frameworks, or even you can clear any interview around the globe. Okay. I am creating a new module with the name as interview questions. I will explain that in that module all the interview questions. So I am creating a new project. Okay. So my first interview question is what is difference between equal function and exact? Okay, let's discuss. I am creating a new class comparison. See, suppose if I write it out here as far as a system dot system dot out dot println to exact to 2, and if I run it, it will return me 2. Okay, if I have a string a and b, if we put values as x, fine, and here I put value as x. Okay, now if I compare SYSO A exact to B and I run it out, it will again return to me true. Okay, so also what I do, I create one more variable, the string C is equal to Y. Okay, if I do A SYSO A is equal to B and I write it out SYSO B exact to C. Okay, let's run it out. It is showing me false. Okay, so this is an exact operator and it is especially designed for comparison. And this is equals. It is actually designed to compare two strings. Okay, getting? Okay, so here A, B, C are objects. So we can compare two objects with equals. So what I do, remember this is an interview. You have to compare objects with equal. Okay, equal function, but with exact we can compare two numbers also. Okay, so what I do, if I do here a dot equal, see it is showing the object name object b. Okay, let's run it out and it is showing me true because both are equal. Okay, and remember this is very important when you say equals, compare the references. References means where actually we have storing any object, any place. Okay, so it compares the reference. Fine. So equal function, if we go with oops, it's useful in comparing two objects and its inner contents as well. Okay, if we go with oops concept, equals is used to compare the object and its inner contents as well. Next interview question which has been asked multiple times, what is difference between string array and a char array? Okay, so if I create a string array, it can only hold string. And see, for character, it can only hold character value. I have created an array with name C. Okay, 2 is the limit, and what I am trying to store at its 0th location, I am trying to store any string. So it is showing us the issue that cannot convert string to char. Okay, but what if I do, if I put it as x, so it will work for me. Why it is showing? And it will not show any error to us because it is now has converted into string. Okay, next interview important question is, what are advantages of static? See, if you want to know, learn more about static, you can watch my module 3. See, what is static? Static is a thing which is common to all the objects. Okay, it can be a variable, okay, which is common to all the objects. Remember, static is not a part of any object. If we have 5 objects, it will be common for all those objects. Okay, in module 3C, I have explained about static and non-static. Okay, if you go to my videos, you will remember. See, here I have created a function with the name as static sum. So now all the objects can use this function. Okay, and if I declare any variable as declare static, and all the objects can use that variable also. See, example I can show. I have see this class car, which I have named price and wheels. Fine. Now this car, I have created the object of car. So car can has its own name, its price, but wheel will be common to all the object. This is the second object I have created. Its name is Ford. Just uh, write this spelling. Okay. So I have created another class. This is which name is Ford. Its price is there. But see, wheels will be common to all the cars. We will have the common value as 4 for all the wheels. Getting the things. Next interview question is asked is, null is a keyword? Yes, null is a keyword. If I declare any value a is equal to null, a is equal to null, so its value will be null. So null is a keyword. Question fifth, which is always asked in interview, is, what is class variable in Java? What is class variable in Java? See, all these questions I have gathered from all the interview persons only. Okay, I I have given multiple interviews. I have taken multiple interviews. So these are the common questions. First, we are covering Java questions. Actually, it is class level variables. Okay, so we have multiple class level variables. See, watch my video, module second and third. You will get that these type of variables also. Okay, actually, we have class level variables like global, public, private, protected, static, non-static. These all are class level variables. So any variable which is defined in a class, within a class, it is a local variable. Okay, and which any variable which we define outside the class, it is known as global variable. Okay, getting the things. Class level variables can be used anywhere inside the class. Okay, the next common interview question is, what is default boolean value in Java? See, the default value of boolean is false. I have declared a variable outside the class and outside main function, and it's I have put it as boolean b. So the value of b will always be false. Okay, next important interview question is, what is difference between string and string buffer class? So now I have created a new string object s, and I have put it there hello there, and now I am taking it as substring 0 to 3, index start from 0. So see, so our object s is created, and where the value currently is, from here we have hello there. Okay, so try to understand. First of all, s is pointing to hello there. Now substring has returned a new object, that is from where to where, it will be from 0h, 1 is l, and 2 is L. Sorry, one is E and two is L. So we have a new object, and now S will start pointing to this object. Previously it was pointing here. Now this start will S will start pointing to this HEL. Okay. Now what string buffer does? String the buffer do not create a new object. Okay, let me explain you. String buffer. So what I have done, I have called a function append in which I have supplied A and I have supplied B. Now let's print it out. See, it has not created a new object. It has appended A and B. So string will always create, if you do any function, it will always create a new object. But string buffer will never create a new object if we do any operations on it. Next important question is, what is final? Okay, I don't need to give any example. I have already explained multiple times. Final is a keyword. Okay, if we define final int I is equal to 0, I cannot change the value of I to 10 to 11. It is a fixed value. Okay, it will show error if you change it. And remember, a function can be final and a class can be final. Okay, all right. Another important question is always what is JDBC and how can we connect to a database. See, I cannot explain it here, but I have created a complete module is there. Okay, watch it out. It's around, say, I think 27, 28 is there. Okay, in that I have created all the database testing, and even I am having a video for it. You can watch it from there because it is a very lengthy thing to explain here. You can watch that video, it will help you. See, different databases are there. Okay, but remember the process is same, which I have explained in my video. And also, see, we need a driver for each database. Okay, next important question is, what is different between throw and throws? See, throw, if we want to deliberately throw any exception, we use throw. For throw and throws, I am creating a new class. Okay, see, these interview question you can only answer if you have a knowledge of everything which I have explained here. So let me create a test. I am using TestNG. You should have knowledge of TestNG also. Public void do login. See, I ran it and it worked fine. It was a pass. Okay, now what I do, I throw deliberately. THROW throw new skip exception. Okay, fine. Now if I run it, see, it has skipped this case. Okay, so see, if you see here, it has deliberately thrown the exception here. Now another thing is throws. To throws, explain the throws. Let's have a new test. Okay, under that I have a method public void do logout. Fine, go inside it. Okay, here mention thread dot sleep 5000. Okay, just now you can see a red line is coming under it, so we need to put it inside try catch block. See, if you take your cursor here, see, either add throw declaration or surrounded by try catch. So you can also add the throw declaration. See, I have declared the throws declaration here. So throws, what it do? It tell us that whether this point or this thing is capable of throwing any exception. Okay, here thread.sleep is a function which is capable of throwing any exception. So we use throws here. Okay, hopefully you are getting the things. Save it. Another interview question is for class dot for name x. What do you write in place of x? See, this interview question is related to database. I have already included, but see, if I supply Firefox here, it will create the object of Firefox class. Fine. So if you go to my database modules, you will get more understanding of it. Okay, mainly basically it is used for drivers also. Basically, most of the case it is used in terms of drivers. Okay, next important interview question is, say if I write, sorry for the background noise. Now see, there is a question, if we write input stream statement in try catch block, okay, what the statement we will write in the finally block. Fine. So let me create a new class. You must understand about finally, what is finally is. So I am creating a new class for it. Try underscore catch finally. Okay, finish it. So let me put it under a test. I am creating a test, public void test app. Okay, see, go through my module in which I have explained about try catch blocks. You will get more idea. Always remember that finally block will always get executed. We have a try block that this issue came, it has been caught. So at the end we want something to happen. Say I was in Facebook, okay, and ultimately crashed. So if someone after 10-15 minutes started working and server was up, so what should happen? Things should get logged out. Okay, that if say on that computer anyone other one is using, then he should not able to log into your account. Or say we are having 100 multiple database connections open, okay, and it crashed. So at the end all the database connections should close. Okay, so all these things comes under binary block. Say now what I do, we are discussing about file input stream. Okay, so what I do, I create an object file in, uh, input stream as, and I keep it as null. Okay, and after that what I do, I initialize this new file input stream. Oh sorry, fine. I have to give, so we need to provide a file path here. You can provide any file path. Okay, and it is mandatory that at the end we should close this file. Okay, getting the points. So now what happened while doing some operation like reading, and an error come. Okay, an error come and it go directly to our catch block. So what happens? then our file connection will keep on open. Okay, if any error comes, so it is compulsory to close at the end. So what I do, I put this file as dot close in my finally section. Okay, we need to keep this also in try catch block it because it is throws. I have explained in my previous interview question. Okay, so the answer to our question is that for a file input stream, finally block will always have close. Okay, there is one more common question asked every time: what is interface? I have explained everything. And what is abstract class? This this question is always asked: what is difference between interface and what is abstract class? Yeah, just a second. Let me create a new interface. I have already explained what is interface. I am not going to explain it. Okay, I am creating a new interface. Let's name is phone, and I am creating a new class in it. Public void call. Another function is text. Okay, now phone can be a landline. Okay, I am creating a new class. Phone can be a landline. Fine. We have a relationship here. What type of is a relationship? Is a so what will happen? Landline phone will implement phone interface. Okay, all right. Now see if you take here, it will ask you to add unimplemented methods. Click on it. So you can see now call and text which are in phone get implemented automatically. So what we can do, we can overwrite. Okay, phone interface functions from here. We can override phone interface functions from here. Getting the things? So this is known as concept of overriding. So we have also covered the interview question of overriding an interface. Okay, so we can write it here: landline calling and landline text. Okay, so say a new function come in our phone interface that connect to a internet. So you can see an error came automatically to my landline class. Okay, so if I take here, it will again show me to add the unimplemented method. Getting the things? Okay, so let's implement in another way. So I'm commenting it out. Suppose tomorrow another type of landline phone comes up from say Nokia or Samsung, and it is able to connect to internet. So I create a new class here with the name as Samsung. Fine. Now what we have Samsung phone, and Samsung phone is a landline phone. Okay, so what we are having, oh, what is this? Just a second. So we have three things in our time. One, we have the phone, another landline, and another is Samsung phone. Okay, so we have three things, and what is happening? Phone is implemented by this is inheriting this. Sorry, landline is a phone, and Samsung phone is a landline phone. Okay, so what I do, Samsung phone extends landline phone. Okay, getting the things. And Samsung phone has its own facility that it provide connect to landline. So we can create its public void connect to internet only. Okay, fine. So we have Samsung phone and which has an additional facility that is connect to internet. It is not, remember, it is not the part of interface. I have commented it. Okay, remember. So see, if I, what I do, if I go to my phone, if I make it uncommented, you will see error. Okay, so what is the solution? Either I add this unimplemented function and I write it out here as YSO connect to internet by landline. Go and watch my video for interface, you will get correct idea. And what I do here in Samsung, now see error has gone. Okay, because we have implemented by Samsung. Fine. Now what I do, I create a one more class and I name it as say client who will make the phone. Okay, let's include mail. And what I do here, I go inside it and I create a object of phone class. Phone p1 is equal to new landline phone. Just be with me. And what we do, p1 dot call, p1 dot text, p1 dot connect to internet. Save it. Now if I run, I got the output that landline calling landline text and connect to internet by landline. Now what I do, I create a new object with the name as p2. Samsung phone. Okay, and p2 dot call p2 dot text p2 dot connect. Okay, so but the difference is that we have p2 for marking to Samsung phone. Okay, p2 is now marking to Samsung phone because we have an object of Samsung phone. Okay, getting the things. So what we get here, this Samsung phone function, it is overriding. It is overriding the function of landline here. Okay, it has overridden the function because now Samsung connect to internet call function is being called. Now see, if we talk practically, landline phone must not have the facility to connect to internet. Okay, it's the Samsung phone should have the facility to connect to internet. So I am deleting this function from here. Wait and watch. So see, now again it started showing a error. So the solution is that if I go here and make this class as abstract. Okay, what I did, I make it as abstract. And the meaning of abstract is that it is incomplete. Okay, abstract means incomplete. So I made it abstract. Now you can see I am getting error here. Reason, I cannot create the object of abstract class. Remember this thing. We cannot create the object of abstract class. So let's remove it. Okay. Now if I run it, see, now it has called landline calling landline text, but now we can connect to internet by Samsung phone. Okay. And remember one more thing, interface is something which is completely abstract. Okay, remember this slide. I think it is clear to you what is abstract now in complete class. Now the next thing is we can have overriding and overloading. Difference is always asked. This question is always asked, what is different between overriding and overloading. Hopefully you have understand the overriding here. What we have done, we have overridden the things here. Okay, now let's see what is overloading. So what we have in overloading, say suppose I have a function public void a, okay, and I have also have the same function again but different arguments. I, okay, we have different argument. This is known as overloading. Function with same name but different arguments. Okay, data type could be different also. Okay, we should differ in some way. Either return time is type is different, or arguments are different, or if the arguments are same but their data type is different. So on this way we can say this is known as overloading a function. Another important feature is encapsulation. Okay, for encapsulation you can just go through my page object model. Okay, in this I have explained very clearly about encapsulation. Okay,